Natalie Wood's secret traumas haunted her throughout her life. She had tough relationships with powerful older men that haunted her. In the end, her life took a terrible turn, just when things started to look up, and she died in a very scary way. A death that is still a mystery today. She was meant to be a Hollywood star, but her early life wasn't glamorous at all. She was born Natalia Nikolaevna Zakharenko on July 20th, 1938, to Russian immigrant parents who loved her but also had their own troubles. Her father Nick had lived through the Great Depression, and he often drank too much. When he was drunk, he could be scary and violent, but that wasn't all. Wood also had to deal with her mother, Maria, who could be even more difficult. Maria knew how to get what she wanted and often stirred up trouble on purpose. Her other daughter, Lana, later called her a pathological liar. Little did Wood know that this was just the start of her troubles. When a fortune teller said that Natalie Wood would become famous worldwide, her mother held onto this prediction very tightly. From that point on, Maria became a pushy stage mom. She was determined to make Wood a star in the entertainment industry. Forced into the limelight, Wood's journey to fame was scarier than most people even realize. Without her pushy mom, Natalie Wood might not have become an actress. Although she possessed a natural talent for acting, she wasn't as excited about movies as her mother was. Maria was the one who found roles for her daughter, and Wood just went along with it. But once Maria got Wood on the stage, that's when things got really scary. Maria wanted Wood to be the best, and she would do anything to make that happen. To make sure Wood could cry on cue, Maria did something really cruel. She showed Wood a butterfly struggling to fly, then ripped off its wings right in front of her. This made Natalie cry instantly, right before the director said, "Action!" However, Maria didn't just stop there. She would tell Natalie scary stories about animals being hurt, or talk about their family dog who had died. She was just a tool for her mother's ambitions. One of the most unsettling things about Natalie Wood's childhood was her fear of water. Given how she died, it's very creepy to learn why she was afraid of water. Her sister Olga later said, "My mother was afraid of swimming, and she was told that she'd drown." So this communicated itself to Natalie. This fear stuck with her for the rest of her life, especially after a scary experience while filming. She never learned how to swim, and she even avoided putting her head under water when taking baths. While filming The Green Promise, a scene went wrong, and 9-year-old Natalie almost drowned. She was told to run across a bridge that wouldn't collapse until she was safe, but the bridge fell while she was still on it, and Wood fell into the water and broke her wrist. This early scare was a weird sign of the tragic way she would die in the future. Fast forward, Natalie Wood became a famous child actor, especially known for her role in the Christmas movie Miracle on 34th Street. However, she couldn't stay a little girl forever. As she got older, it was time to see if Wood could make the difficult move from child actor to young star. But in Hollywood, opportunities often came with a cost. As Wood grew up and became a beautiful young woman, new dangers appeared. As a teen, Wood became very beautiful. Sadly, this made her a target for inappropriate studio executives and for one particularly creepy director. When 16-year-old Wood auditioned out for Rebel Without a Cause, 42-year-old director Nicholas Ray noticed her. With a big age difference between them, Wood's start in the adult world of acting was far from innocent. Wood was taken advantage of by director Nicholas Ray when she was still underage. Despite this, she still wanted the part of Judy in Rebel Without a Cause. But just because she was involved with Ray didn't mean she was guaranteed the role. Other famous actresses like Jane Mansfield and Debbie Reynolds were also in the running for the part. Natalie Wood found herself unsure about getting the role until a reckless event changed everything. One night, Natalie Wood and Dennis Hopper decided to have a wild night out filled with drinks and fun that ended badly. They both ended up in a car crash that landed Wood in the hospital, but something unexpected happened. When her boyfriend Nicholas Ray came to see her, he overheard the doctor call Wood a goddamn juvenile delinquent. This gave Wood an idea. She was in the hospital because of a car accident. She was a rebel without a cause. When the doctor insulted her, she quickly turned to Ray and excitedly asked, "Did you hear what he called me, Nick? He called me a goddamn juvenile delinquent. Now, do I get the part?" We can't be sure if the car accident helped Wood get the role, but in the end, Ray did help her. He told Warner Brothers, "We just spent 3 days testing 32 kids. There is only one girl who has shown the capacity to play Judy, and she is Natalie Wood." After all the inappropriate times with Ray and one wild night out, Wood finally had a chance to be a star. It turned out that Natalie Wood was the perfect choice for Rebel Without a Cause. Her acting was so good, she even got nominated for Best Supporting Actress. This was a turning point for Wood. This was the first movie she really wanted to be in. On the outside, 16-year-old Wood seemed like she had everything. But behind closed doors, she was living a very different life. It was only years later, after her biography by Suzanne Finstad came out, that a dark part of Wood's life was revealed. It was said that she had been asked to come to a famous actor's hotel room for an audition, and it turned into a nightmare. It is claimed that a very famous and married actor hurt her very badly when she was just 16 years old. Wood was so scared and hurt after the attack that she didn't ask for help. She never told the police, but she did tell some of her closest friends. Later, Wood's sister, Lana, said that these rumors were true, and that it happened at the Chateau Marmont Hotel. But who was this guilty man? Even though Wood never said who attacked her directly, she hated him until the day she died. Many people believe it was Kirk Douglas. When he passed away in 2020, Natalie Wood's name started trending on social media. However, we may never know the truth about one of the worst moments in her life. Sadly, life had more surprises for Natalie. When she was 18, Natalie Wood had a big crush on Elvis Presley. She loved his music and his good looks, and she really wanted to meet him. Her old co-star and friend, Dennis Hopper, introduced them. They liked each other right away, but their relationship didn't end well. Elvis really wanted to impress Natalie. On one of their first dates, he rented a whole theater just for them. Moves like this really won her over, and they decided to take their relationship to the next level. Elvis wanted Natalie to meet his family, but this was a big mistake. Natalie was excited to meet Elvis's mom, Gladys, in Memphis. But when she got there, she was shocked by how close Elvis was with his mother. It was too much for Natalie. She didn't like Gladys, and the feeling was mutual. Gladys didn't like how Natalie dressed, and it caused a lot of tension. After Natalie met Gladys, their relationship couldn't be saved. Only a few days later, Natalie called her sister Lana and said, "Gladys has wrecked everything. I don't have a chance. Get me out of this and fast." Natalie left quickly, saying she had a family emergency. Even though Natalie had bad luck with love, her biggest romance was just around the corner. The story of Natalie Wood and Richard Wagner starts when she was just 10 years old. She saw 18-year-old Wagner at the 20th Century Fox Studios and told her mother, "I'm going to marry him." This prediction actually came true. Years later, Wood and Wagner met again as adults. Their first meeting wasn't all smiles and laughter. The studio set them up thinking it would be good for Natalie's career. They were right, and their first date went well. Natalie thought she had finally found her prince, but time would reveal who he really was. Natalie Wood and Richard Wagner seemed like a perfect couple, and soon a beautiful ring appeared on Wood's finger. Wagner had cleverly hidden the ring in a glass of champagne to surprise her. But while her love life was going great, her career was in trouble. Wood didn't like the roles her studio was giving her, so she decided to say no to 2 films, The Miracle and A Summer Place. This upset Warner Brothers, and they suspended her for 18 months. But Wood didn't give up. She fought with Jack Warner, the studio head, and won the right to choose 1 film each year. But her career was at risk. When Wood came back, her career wasn't doing well. But then she got a role in the 1961 film Splendor in the Grass, directed by Elia Kazan. This film saved her career. Wood had always admired Kazan and was thrilled to work with him. Working on Splendor in the Grass was an intense experience for Wood. She had to dig deep into herself and push her acting skills to the limit. Her biographer later said, "Working with Kazan brought her to the greatest emotional heights of her career. The experience was exhilarating but wrenching for Natalie, who faced her demons on Splendor." But this film didn't just challenge her acting skills, it also challenged her marriage. As Wood's career took off, she became more successful than Wagner. By the time she played Maria in the 1961 film West Side Story, she was very famous. Wagner later said that he didn't compete with his wife, but that her fame put a strain on their marriage. There were rumors that there was more to the story. After Wood and Wagner split up in 1962, Wood started dating Warren Beatty, her co-star from Splendor in the Grass. This sparked rumors. Had Wood cheated on Wagner with Beatty? Was that why they split up? In a 2020 documentary about Wood, it was said that she didn't cheat on Wagner, but Wood's sister Lana claimed that Wagner was the one who had cheated. She said that Wood found him in bed with another man. Wagner denied this, but a passage from Wood's unpublished memoir added more mystery to their breakup. She wrote, "It is too painful for me to recall in print the incident that led to the final breakup. It was more than a final straw, it was reality crushing the fragile web of romantic fantasies with sledgehammer force." Wood's relationship with Beatty was also difficult. They often fought, and after 2 years, they broke up. This left Wood feeling very upset. After the breakup, Wood's mental health got worse. She found it hard to act, and after a tough time on the set of The Great Race, she tried to take her own life. But after taking too many sleeping pills, she realized she wanted to live. She reached out for help just in time and survived. To the public, Wood was a successful actress, but behind the scenes, she was struggling. Natalie became a superstar in the 1960s. She was famous like Elizabeth Taylor and Audrey Hepburn, but she was also very depressed. She went to therapy to feel better, but it didn't help much. Wood knew she had to make a big change in her life. She didn't want to work for Warner Brothers anymore, so she even paid them $175,000 to leave. She also fired everyone who worked for her, her agents, publicists, accountant, managers, and attorney. At the end of the 1960s, Wood got married again. She married Richard Gregson. Wood and Gregson were happy and had a child named Natasha. But one day, Wood heard Gregson talking to his secretary in a way that made her feel betrayed. She lost trust in him and they got a divorce, but Wood didn't want to be alone. A few months later, she started dating again, and it was a big surprise who she dated. In 1972, Wood started dating her first husband, Robert Wagner, again. They got back together after Wood visited him in Palm Springs. She said, "We talked about what had happened to our marriages. He had become a man instead of a boy." 2 years later, they had a daughter named Courtney. Wood was doing a lot better. She was going to therapy, was happy with Wagner, and loved raising her family. She worked a little bit, but spent most of her time with her children. Her fans were happy for her too, but in 1981, something terrible happened. Wood was 43 years old and went on a boat called Splendor with her husband and their friend Christopher Walken. They were going to have a fun night, but it ended in tragedy. The next morning, Wood was missing. Later, they found her body in the water about a mile away from the boat. She had drowned, which was very scary because she was afraid of water. People didn't know what happened to Wood. Wagner said he went to sleep, and when he woke up, she was gone. But there was evidence that made people suspicious of him. For example, he said he and Wood didn't fight that night, but later, he said they did fight. Also, Wood had bruises and a scrape on her cheek, but doctors didn't know how she got them. They guessed she might have fallen when she was trying to get on a small boat. Wood's sister, Lana, didn't think Wood would have left the boat by herself because she was scared of water. Also, people on another boat said they heard a woman yelling for help when Wood disappeared. In 2011, the case about Wood's death was opened again. The captain of the boat, Dennis Davern, said he lied to the police about the night Wood died. He said Wood was flirting with Walken, which made Wagner jealous. And when Wood disappeared, Wagner didn't want to look for her in the water or call for help. In 2018, Wagner became a suspect in Wood's death. He was the last person to see her alive. The police think Wood might have been hurt before she drowned. Wagner says he didn't do anything wrong. In 2003, another secret about Wood came out. When she was 15 or 16, she was dating Frank Sinatra, who was much older. They didn't tell anyone because it wasn't right. But Sinatra's personal helper, George Jacobs, knew about it. Jacobs wrote a book about his life with Sinatra. In the book, he said Sinatra liked Wood when she was just 9 years old. He saw her in a movie and thought she was cute. A few years later, he had a chance to date her. Wood's mother wanted her to date Sinatra. She dressed Wood in a tight black dress, and Sinatra was attracted to her. At first, Sinatra talked to Wood about her acting career and sang to her, but then they started spending time alone together. Sinatra would send Jacobs away so they could be alone and joked, "I don't want you to testify." Natalie Wood's life was full of secrets and challenges. From being a child star to a famous actress, her life was both fascinating and sad. People are still interested in her life and her mysterious death,